Hello there, ATS EVS 105 students. Dr. John Schrage here. Just giving you a quick introduction to Module 6 of the class. Now, I've never mentioned it before, but one of the things I really like, I collect antique maps. And I actually have what we jokingly in my house refer to as the Hall of Maps, where we have a whole bunch of my maps framed at the present time. But I'm a big fan of all kinds of old maps because it just goes to show that, the world is always changing and we never really understand what's going on around us all that well. And dealing with changes and dealing with the changes in way we understand things and so on is important. And I have all kinds of really interesting maps here that maybe on different days we'll have reasons to talk about. But I want to just show you real quick here. Like, for example, I have a couple maps right here that are of different parts of Africa. And these maps are from, I don't know, the 1820s, 1830s, something like that. And I mean, to be candid, our understanding of Africa was practically nothing at that time. And I mean, there's countries on those maps that never did exist, but some map maker sitting in Antwerp thought were a good idea. Or there's mountain ranges on those maps. We now know there is no mountain range there. There's rivers on the map. There's no river in that part of the Sahara Desert. But the map makers were just filling in our knowledge. Well, we live in a much more scientific world, and you're in a class right now that's about doing things in a more scientific way. And so today, in this module of the course, we're going to be taking on this idea of why is the climate system changing? I mean, so far in this class, we've really been talking a great deal about greenhouse gases. But as we're going to see in this module, greenhouse gases are by no means the only possible explanation as to why the planet might be changing. We're going to learn about a way of measuring the amount of influence a particular climate forcing can have, like in greenhouse gases or aerosols or changes in the Earth's orbit or changes in the output of the sun or so on. And we're going to find out that there's a way we can quantify this, and that each of these changes that we are going to be making to the Earth's atmosphere can result in what we call a feedback that can either amplify or ameliorate that climate change. And then we're going to be able to put that into the context of past climate changes. What things have caused climate changes before we were here? And then what kind of things will cause climate change right now? I think it's an interesting module. It kind of is an unexpected thing at this point in the course. It's based on chapters 6 and 7 in your textbook. And given that information, you're going to be able to have a really interesting discussion about global dimming. You're going to do a homework set, and then you take a fairly long quiz. The quiz at the end of this module is about, I think I ended up with 50 questions, but that's because this is a module that has a lot of vocabulary, and vocabulary really lends itself to using to the quiz format. So you have more quiz questions this time than you do usually. All right, students, this has been Dr. John Schrage giving you a tour of what you're going to be doing in Module 6. And just so you know what all these weird noises you've been seeing and all the pushing around goes, just so you can see here, hold on. It's my son, Xavier.
And I have my second electronic.
He's got his Kindle with him right now, and he's having a great...
my second electronic.
Yes, it is. All right, anyway, so just so you have a little insight into the insanity of my day-to-day life sometimes. All right, please let me know if you have any questions, and I think you're going to find Module 6 to be interesting and challenging.